Hi team, Jim Hainey. I want to talk to you today briefly about the rational mind. The rational mind is how we talk to ourselves consciously. So there are two ways that we can communicate with ourselves. One is consciously, which is rationalizing things, which is what I'm going to talk about. The other one is non-consciously, or what we refer to as the little voice, the self-talk. The little voice, just to remind you, is about 15 words a day, give or take, and it's how we basically jabber, jabber, jabber to ourselves all day. So something will go wrong. It's generally negative, incidentally. It's about 80% negative. So we'll do something and it'll be silly, or we'll miss something, or we'll whatever. And we talk to ourselves in a very negative sense. I hear it all the time because that's the law of awareness. Because I'm in this field, I hear people saying things to themselves. Just this morning I heard a friend of mine say, "You silly this, you silly that," to herself. And I said to her, do you realize that if anyone else said that to you, how would you feel? And she said, "Well, I wouldn't like it." And I said, "Well, why do you do it to yourself?" We seem to think that because we talk to ourselves, it's okay. And believe me, it isn't. Because the subconscious is a garbage in, garbage out. You feed it garbage, it will give you garbage. You feed it failure, it will give you failure. You feed it success, it will give you success. So let's go to the other side, the rational mind. How the rational mind works is this. Let's say something goes wrong. Let's say that things aren't going your way, or even if they are, it's generally though something almost invariably something which needs rationalizing. So that's why it's called the rational mind. So let's say something goes wrong. Let's say somebody keeps you waiting, so they're 5, 10 minutes late. There are a couple of ways you can handle that. You can pass it over to your subconscious, the little voice, and that little voice will reflect how you feel about yourself, your self-image. So if you don't have a great self-image, if you don't perhaps even like the person, the other person, then that little voice is going to take over. And it's going to be reflecting your true feelings. So it'll be something like, or could be something like, she's late or he's late because they don't care. They're always late. I don't know why I bother with them. This is a waste of time. I'm never going to do it again. And so it goes. A more effective way to handle it is with the rational mind in a positive sense. Now, how would you do that? Well, let's say somebody's keeping you waiting. Let's say somebody is late. Then you can say to yourself, this is not like them. Or perhaps it may be something that they have a problem with, which means that I'm going to cut them some slack, basically. They could have been held up. They could be caught in traffic. In other words, it's got nothing to do with their feelings towards me. I am giving them the benefit of the doubt. The rational mind tends to be the benefit of the doubt. It tends to be to explain things so that you can work with it, not for them. You're being nice and rational, not because of them, but because you are looking after yourself. So when you say to yourself something like, well, I'm sure they'll come, and I'm sure that if I wait long enough, it's going to be fine. When they do come, you're going to be in a positive sense with them. You're going to have a positivity. You're going to have, well, certainly non-negative. Whereas if you wind yourself up and allow your self-talk to take over, by the time they get there, you'll be almost ready to abuse them, almost ready to have a go at them. So the rational mind is a very powerful tool. And I want you, or I would like you, to become aware of the rational mind so that it's what you say to yourself consciously. When things don't go well, rationalize it. And by rationalizing it, I mean make allowances and bring it back into perspective. What perspective? Positive perspective. We've got choices in this world. We can either be positive or we can be negative. We can take things positively or negatively. Now, I'll tell you right now, and you've only got to look around you. There are some people who brighten up a room when they leave it. You feel like saying to them, does your face now how happy you are? Take the positive stance. Be a positive person. Remind yourself that you're a positive person. Think about positivity. And you'll find that positive things will attract themselves to you like a magnet. And you will be happier, you'll be healthier, and you'll have a wonderful day, which is what I wish you now as I bid you farewell until our next session.